You know what's interesting about highly intelligent people? They rarely look the way we expect them to. When most people imagine someone with an extremely high IQ, they picture a person who constantly shows off their intelligence. Someone loudly solving complex problems, speaking brilliantly all the time, and always displaying their knowledge. But psychology research suggests something quite different. In reality, people with very high intelligence often show subtle behavioral patterns that don't immediately look like intelligence at all. Cognitive psychologists often say that intelligence isn't just about what you know, it's about how your brain processes the world. And that way of processing tends to reveal itself through everyday habits. So in this video, we're going to explore 10 surprisingly common habits often found in people with extremely high IQ. 1. They spend a lot of time alone. Highly intelligent people are often comfortable spending time alone. This doesn't necessarily mean they dislike people. Instead, their minds are constantly processing ideas, concepts, and possibilities. Solitude gives the brain, especially the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for planning, reflection, and complex thinking, the space it needs to work effectively. In fact, research from the London School of Economics found that highly intelligent individuals often feel less satisfied with frequent social interaction compared to others. Their brains simply crave quiet thinking time. 2. They are constantly curious. People with high IQs tend to ask questions about almost everything. Not just big philosophical questions, but small everyday ones as well. Why do people behave this way? Why does this system work like that? What would happen if things were done differently? Their brain naturally searches for patterns and explanations. Curiosity becomes the engine that drives their learning and understanding of the world. 3. They talk to themselves. This might sound unusual at first, but psychologists call it self-directed speech. Talking to yourself can actually improve focus and mental organization. It helps the brain structure thoughts and strengthens working memory. So when you see someone quietly narrating their thoughts or thinking out loud, it might not be strange behavior. It might actually be a sign of an active and highly engaged cognitive system. 4. They're comfortable saying, "I don't know." Highly intelligent people tend to have a strong awareness of the limits of their own knowledge. In psychology, this connects to something known as the Dunning-Kruger effect, which describes how people with less knowledge often overestimate their understanding. Interestingly, people with higher intelligence often do the opposite. Because they recognize how complex the world truly is, they are much more comfortable admitting when they don't know something. 5. They often overthink small things. An analytical brain rarely turns off. The same mental processes that allow someone to solve complex problems can also lead them to analyze everyday situations in great detail. They might replay conversations, reconsider decisions, or explore multiple possible outcomes. From the outside, this might look like indecision, but internally, the brain is simply exploring multiple mental models at once. 6. They have a strong sense of humor. Humor actually requires complex mental processing. To understand or create humor, the brain has to recognize patterns, break expectations, and connect ideas that normally don't belong together. Research in intelligent psychology has found measurable links between higher IQ and more advanced humor processing. So a sharp sense of humor can sometimes reflect a very agile and creative mind. 7. They change their minds when presented with new evidence. Highly intelligent individuals tend to treat their beliefs like flexible mental models rather than fixed identities. When new information appears, they adjust their thinking. In psychology, this ability is known as cognitive flexibility, and it's one of the key markers of advanced problem-solving and intellectual maturity. Rather than defending their opinions at all costs, they're willing to update their understanding. 8. They're often mentally active late at night. Many highly intelligent people report feeling more mentally active during the night. Some researchers link this to evolutionary psychology, suggesting that individuals with greater cognitive flexibility may adapt more easily to non-traditional routines, like staying awake later. Nighttime also offers fewer distractions, allowing deeper thinking and creativity. 9. They observe more than they speak. In conversations, highly intelligent individuals often spend more time observing before responding. They watch social dynamics, analyze emotional cues, and gather information before forming their response. This reflects strong pattern recognition, not just in ideas, but also in human behavior. 10. They constantly search for meaning. Perhaps one of the most interesting traits of highly intelligent people is their ongoing search for meaning. Because they're often more aware of the complexity of society, relationships, and human behavior, they tend to reflect deeply on questions about purpose, identity, and how people understand their lives. It doesn't always appear dramatic or philosophical. Sometimes it's just a quiet question in the back of the mind. Why do people think the way they do? And maybe that's the most fascinating part of intelligence. It isn't simply about solving equations or memorizing facts. At its core, intelligence is about curiosity, a mind that keeps exploring patterns, questioning assumptions, and trying to understand the strange and fascinating puzzle of human nature. And sometimes, the smartest people in the room are the ones who appear the quietest.